As he was helping me unload, I said, yeah, these shelves here, he was helping me carry them in. These are for my Pez dispensers. I collect Pez dispensers. And he looked at me a little funny. And he said, wait, you mean like that guy on YouTube? Hey everybody, Mr. Edel here. So I just got a new job and I'm super excited and I wanted to tell you a little bit about it. So that's what this video is all about. So if you watched my previous video, which was the goodbye video to my students, I mentioned in that video how I left my previous job and I was searching for a public school job. So for those of you who don't know me, my previous school was a private school and I taught 5th grade here in Portland, Oregon, and I decided to leave because I wanted to look for a job in public school. So I started my job hunt and I applied for several schools all over the east side because I live on the east side of Portland, and West Hills was on the west side. That was another reason that I wanted to find another job, is to get a job closer to home. So I've been looking at schools all over the area near my home on the east side, and I got several interviews, and I even interviewed at my own kids' school down the street from us, and it was a great interview experience because I actually knew the principal, and that was fun. But I ended up accepting a job position at H.B. Lee Middle School, which is only a 10-minute drive from our house. I'll be teaching 6th grade science, and teaching science is something that I am especially passionate about, and so I was really hoping to get this position. And it was funny because my first interview was here in person at the school, and they called me back for a second interview, and I actually was down in Arizona on vacation visiting family. And so my second interview was actually a phone conference interview. And then later that same day, they called me back and offered me the position, and I was super excited and accepted it. And Jen was also really pumped that I get the opportunity to teach science, because I talk about science all the time, not just at school but at home. So we're both really excited, and especially like where the school is at, and we are really excited about the location for where I'm going to teach, because we started our marriage here in East Portland. Right after we got married in Seattle, we moved down here, and we really feel at home here. Our church is here, our friends are here, this is our neighborhood. But our first apartment in East Portland, right across the street, we helped build a community garden in that neighborhood, and that garden is still going strong. And that neighborhood where that community garden is, the elementary school that's right there feeds into this middle school. So it just seems like such a great opportunity for me to come back and teach in the neighborhood that Jen and I both have a heart for. So a little bit about the position. Like I said before, 6th grade science. I have a background in science, so it comes really naturally to me, and I just have an automatic love for the subject matter. But I think the biggest change is going to be the fact that I am going from one 5th grade self-contained classroom to 6 different classes with, I don't know, about 30 kids in each class. So that's approximately 200 students. So that's going to probably be the biggest change that I'm going to have to adjust to, is seeing different kids each period all throughout the day. And adjusting to that is definitely going to be the biggest change. I think I've got a healthy amount of nervousness going into this. And the nice thing is that all my students are 6th graders, and at this school, it's a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade middle school. So all the 6th graders are going to be new, and I'm going to be new, so that I got that going for me. But at the same time, I'm really excited and looking forward to the challenge. And this is not completely new to me. My first 2 years, I taught middle school. My first year was actually in the same district. That was 9 years ago. I taught long-term sub-position. New battery. And that was a lot of fun teaching at that middle school. That was my first year, and that was math and science to 8th graders. And then my second year was at a school in Eastern Oregon. That was just a 1-year teaching gig that was really hard, and I learned a lot from that school year. But both of them included, seeing hundreds of students over the course of the day. And so it's just something that I'm going to have to remember, how it went before, and it'll come back to me, I'm sure. I think the best thing that I love about middle school and why I'm excited to be back in a building where I see so many students is the fact that every period is different. And that's something that lasts all year long. And so it's variety. And so the thing about self-contained, it's great that you could build relationships with those students and see them all day long. But with the middle school, you see so many students and it's variety all day long. So it's kind of like, pros and cons to both. I remember loving middle school and loving teaching it, and I'm looking forward to it again. So through this whole process, I have realized how much of a pack rat I am. I'm not so bad that you could call me a hoarder, but I'm definitely a pack rat. And the reason that I know that is because I had to rent a U-Haul in order to bring all of my teacher stuff here to this school. What I ended up doing is, after I took all my stuff out of my West Hills classroom, I stored it at my parents' in their spare room. My previous school was on the west side. It was just an easy spot to stick it there. I didn't know how long I was going to be job hunting for, and searched for a job, found a job, and then I realized that I needed to get all my stuff from Beaverton all the way over to East Portland Gresham. That's a long distance. So I rented a U-Haul, I picked up my stuff from their place, and then I drove here, unloaded it. My principal stopped by and said, "Wow, Aaron, it looks like you're moving in." And it really did, because I had a lot of furniture, my dinner table and my round table and the stuff that I brought from home from my previous classroom. So I moved in. All my stuff is here, all my junk. It is a little bit messy. My Pez are not yet up on the wall. My tables, I don't know how I'm gonna use my tables because I'm not gonna use flexible seating in here. I've got lots of different doodads and gizmos and whatchamacallits. And of course, Senor Pez needs to be put into his tank. So another funny story is that when I was unloading my U-Haul, I got some help from one of my new team teachers. He teaches math here, and the way that they do it here in 6th grade, because they're new to lockers, it worked out perfectly because I usually do a locker video and they're new to lockers, and I'll probably make another one here in a few weeks. Our 6th grade math teacher, what he has done over the past few years is he has shown a locker video on YouTube to his students to help them, and he actually used my locker video for his students because he just searched on YouTube. He found a good how to open your locker video, and it just happened to be mine. And so as he was helping me unload the U-Haul, I said, yeah, these shelves here, he was helping me carry them in. These are for my Pez dispensers. I collect Pez dispensers. And he looked at me a little funny. And he said, "Wait, you mean like that guy on YouTube? That teacher on YouTube who collects Pez dispensers?" And then I said, "Oh yeah, that's me." and I said, "Have you seen my videos?" And he was like, "You're joking, right?" And he couldn't believe it. He said, "What are the odds that the video that I picked for my students for how to open their locker is the same teacher who moved in to be the science teacher at the school he teaches at, So it's just a hilarious coincidence. And so he helped me bring in all my Pez dispensers, and so it's just so hilarious. So here I am, I'm organizing all my junk, and I'm starting to set it up. I have a couple weeks until school starts, and so I really want to make sure that I prep my classroom setup as much as I can before I start getting into the nitty-gritty with the curriculum and organization and class rosters and stuff like that. So I'll give you a brief tour of my classroom here right now, as it is a mess, and then you can stay tuned for my next video, which will be lots of time lapse of me setting up my classroom and setting up my Pez dispensers and stuff like that. So I built these shelves last summer. All these shelves are only being hung up by a few nails each. That way I can easily take it down, I can easily move it, which happened to work out really well because I moved classrooms. I'm gonna put my Pez dispensers up here. and I'll show you that in the next video. And what I did is I kept the shelves up high, out of reach, so that the students wouldn't be tempted to reach up and grab them. Here's my little teacher desk area. I'm actually going to share my desk area with another science teacher who works part-time. She is awesome. She doesn't have one established classroom. She's going to go between other science classrooms. So she's got this mobile cart that she's going to use as she goes around. But her teacher desk area is going to be here, and I haven't figured out yet how I'm going to arrange our desks. So this is like an actual teacher desk here, and this is my dinner table that I used in my previous classroom. And bookshelf and, you know, yada yada yada. Okay, so over here is another area. I think I'm going to use this as like the school supply area. I'm going to have my other shelf here and have a little carpet there, and I don't know if I'm going to put another table here or move that here or what, but not sure about that. Here's my round table that I used in my previous classroom. I think I might get rid of that, because round tables are really difficult to put in like small spaces. If there's not very much room in a classroom, they don't, you know, fit nicely against a wall or something. It's nice because it kind of adds variety, so not everything is just right angles, but, you know, I don't know. We'll see. There's all my Pez dispensers down here and all their bags and boxes. Here's Senor Pez. He is waiting to get back into his home. However, my sink it says non-potable water. So I don't know if non-potable water is safe for a fish tank. Although I'm sure it depends on like what the reason is that it's non-potable, like if there's chemicals or if it's just dirty or what. I know it's not safe for humans to drink, but is it okay for fish? That's the question. I got my big time timer still that was given to me a few months ago. I'm still gonna try and use that and make a video. I'm excited about that. And then I got all these tables, which is awesome. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna arrange those. I might just do rows, but I'm not sure. I also asked permission if I could mount the projector on the ceiling, because that is super helpful when the projector is, you know, out of the reach of everybody. It just provides more space here, and then I don't have to have like a table here. So anyway, this is my classroom. So stay tuned for classroom setup and more teacher vlogs on how I'm preparing for the first day of school. If you are a future 6th grader here, I am excited to meet you, and I'm looking forward to teaching science. It's gonna be great. Thumbs up. Have a good one, guys. Talk to you later.